Hello YouTubers and fellow Whovians, and once again welcome to another Doctor Who CD review. And as you can see, this time I shall be taking a look at We Are the Daleks. That was written by Jonathan Morris. This is part of the main monthly series of audios that have been made by Big Finish Productions ever since 1999, and it's still going. This is the 201st issue of the main range of these audios, and it is We Are the Daleks. And I think that this is a good starting point, in my opinion, for any Doctor Who fan new to Big Finish. So without further ado, let's take a look at what this audio has to offer. So we have the usual stuff that we see on front covers of the Doctor Who range Big Finish covers. We have the classic series Doctor Who logo, which is being modified. It's now got that silver whitish colour to it, and you've got that stupid BBC logo just above the D. I'm not really that fussed about it, to be honest. I quite like the change that they did, because for a while on merchandising they used the blue one, and then with the 50th anniversary they used that with the howl round effect in the background. I think for now they've gone with this one, and I quite like it. It suits it, in my opinion. And just at this strip here, we've got Sylvester McCoy and Bonnie Langford. They're the Doctor and the companion of this story. It's the first of a trilogy of stories, this, but I'll go more into detail towards the end of this review. Jonathan Morris wrote this story, as I said, and it just says at the bottom, featuring Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks. You've got the Big Finish logo there. Full cast audio drama, brand new adventures. We've got the face of the 7th Doctor, a scene from his title sequence that was used in the late 80s. And the main cover itself, I think, is an absolutely beautiful cover. You've got a whole range of things going on here, and it kind of gives us an idea of what's going on in this story. So, as implied by the title of the story, the Daleks are of course in it. We've got the Dalek there taking the centre stage, and it's one of the Imperial Daleks that featured in the very popular Sylvester McCoy TV story, Remembrance of the Daleks. This audio is set before that story takes place, because Mel is the companion. Bonnie Langford's in this audio, and this is supposedly before Ace comes along in Dragonfire. So this audio takes place sometime during season 24, when the 7th Doctor and Mel were travelling together in the TARDIS. And you've got a whole range of colours going on. Looks like either a dawn or a sunset. I believe it's a sunset there. You've got a lamppost there. It's just like a street in London. It's set in 1987, so it's a very nostalgic piece, which I quite like. A few buildings in the background. We've got this building here, which actually has the head of a Dalek and the neck and everything like that. That's one of the most important parts of this story. We've just got game over here, because this is all about video games. We've got the 7th Doctor here, and he's wearing a new outfit, because he gets this new outfit in this story. When you listen to it, you'll understand. We've got Mel here, played by Bonnie Langford, and we've got all these coins here as well. Because one thing I quite like is this story can get quite a bit political, which is quite interesting. And it would have been an interesting time, because it was during the Margaret Thatcher years, when Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So that's quite interesting that they delved into that in this. That is the spine, so it just says 201 at the bottom. Doctor Who, We Are the Daleks. Got Sylvester McCoy's face at the top. And here you've got all your usual stuff. Unfortunately, they've got a bit of a scratch on mine. I got it when I got it out of the box when I got this. So yes, this was written by Jonathan Morris, directed by Ken Bentley. We're now going to take a look at the synopsis for the story. But if you want to look more into detail of the synopsis, you can look in the description below, as I will copy and paste it into there if you've missed this bit for some reason. So the year is 1987 and Britain is divided. In Bradford, strikers are picketing and clashing with the police. In the city of London, stockbrokers are drinking champagne and politicians are courting the super rich. The mysterious media mogul Alek Zenos, head of the Zenos Corporation, is offering Britain an economic miracle. His partners wish to invest, and the terms are too good to refuse. While the Doctor investigates Warfleet, which is a new computer game craze that is sweeping the nation, Mel goes undercover to find out the truth about Zenos' partners, and here we have all the cast there. So, quite a good cast as well. The runtime for this is 2 hours long. So there's plenty of content in this that you'll enjoy. Here inside we've got an alternative cover, so if you want to display the cover, turn it around and you can have it as if it was like in the format of the 7th Doctor stuff, but I quite like it like this, so I'll just leave it like that for the time being. So yeah, I really like that they give us the option to do that. We've got the 2 discs here, so that's disc 1 that contains part 1 and part 2, plus isolated soundtrack, which is awesome, so it contains music from the story as well. And here we have disc 2, parts 3 and 4, plus a coming soon trailer at the end, and a behind the scenes documentary, and it just says here, you will always get this with the CDs, available now, other releases that you may enjoy. So we have a few other stories that have been released in the past, and that's the inside of the actual booklet that comes with this, and it just says that the next one is Doctor Who The Warehouse, and it just has a little advertisement there for Doctor Who magazine as well. Right then, so what do I think about We Are the Daleks? Well, I think it's an absolutely amazing story, and like I said, I think it's a very good starting off point for any people who are new to the Big Finish audio range. I think it's a great way to start collecting all of these audios, I really do, because it's a Daleks story. It's always good to start off with a Dalek story. Through personal experience, the first actual classic DVD that I got was Genesis of the Daleks, which is considered by many to be one of the best stories of all time, and certainly one of the best Dalek stories of all time. And I think this, it's only been released in the last few months, I'm aware of that, but I think this may go down as a classic in years to come, simply because it's got Daleks in it, and it's very nostalgic, because if you think about it this way, when Remembrance of the Daleks came out, when that was written and broadcast back in 1988, it was set in 1963 in that story, so that was nostalgic of 1963, and it was set around the time of when Doctor Who first aired, because Doctor Who started in 1963. So here, this was brought out in 2015, and it's sort of the same thing really. It's 2015, go back to 1987, it goes back to the 80s. So whereas in the 80s they went back to the 1960s, when we're in the modern era now, they're going back to the 80s. And I quite like what they did really, because the Daleks didn't actually appear in the late 80s, like in the present day story except for Resurrection of the Daleks, but that was earlier 80s, whereas this is late 80s. And as I said, they have the Imperial Daleks here, which is quite nice. There's a few nods to other Dalek stories. I won't say what they are because they may potentially give away plot spoilers. I won't give away huge spoilers, but I could tell you there are a few nice twists in this story. I think that the cast overall, every single one involved, are absolutely fantastic. All the characters are very interesting characters. Nicholas Briggs does an amazing job with the voice work for the Daleks in this one. Every single one has a different personality. They all sound different from one another, so they don't all sound the same. I think that the whole idea with the whole video game thing, I think it's a very nice twist with this new games console. It's supposed to be the most powerful games console ever made. Of course it's fictional because it doesn't actually exist in real life. And the graphics are better and everything like that. But it turns out that the whole twist of this is that it's all part of a grand scheme that has been made by the Daleks. So it's a very intriguing thing what they've done there. I was quite interested to see where they go with this before I got the audio, because I've heard quite a few interesting things about this beforehand, and when I actually have listened to it, I've listened to it a couple of times now, and I've got to say, I think it really works. I think it's great. I think it really works that the Daleks are in this as well. I'm not really sure how it would have worked, say if it was another villain, say it was a villain that was never seen before, or maybe another Doctor Who villain, I'm not sure. But I think with the Daleks, in this case, it really works very well, and I think the writing, they've just got it right. I think the Daleks in this, they're written how the Daleks should be, and it kind of makes some new series Dalek stories look kind of embarrassing compared to this one, because in my opinion this is a great Dalek story, and it puts some of the actual episodes of the TV series to shame, because this is a great way to write the Daleks, in my opinion. The Daleks are done absolutely brilliantly here. Jonathan Morris, he's nailed the Daleks here. He's written them perfectly. They're very manipulative, and they're very sneaky in the story, which I really, really like. I think sometimes when the Daleks are at the sneakiest, they're at the best. They're kind of like how they are in Power of the Daleks and stories like that, because the Power of the Daleks is considered by some Doctor Who fans to be the definitive Dalek story. As for the main characters, I've said already that the whole cast as a whole are brilliant. Sylvester McCoy. Now, knowing that this is set during season 24, the 7th Doctor in season 24 is a completely different character to what we see from season 25 onwards. Of course, I prefer the season 25 onwards version of the 7th Doctor, because the character underwent some sort of transformation. He was less of a clown and he was more darker. Sylvester McCoy is one of the darkest Doctors, and that for me is one of the best things about his Doctor, the fact that it was darker. Now, knowing that this is set during season 24, of course, Big Finish, they would have to be authentic. They would have to stick with this story. Season 24. Will he be more of a clown? Will he be more like how he is from season 25 onwards? Well, he kind of is a bit like how he is from season 25 onwards, and I'm very happy with that, in my opinion. I think the 7th Doctor has been written very well, plus he's been given a new suit to wear in this, which is quite a good thing. It explores the character a bit more as well. Plus, it's a Dalek story as well, and the Seventh Doctor with the Daleks is great to listen to. I think the way that Sylvester McCoy interacts with all the characters, including the Daleks, I think he does an absolutely amazing job. He does an amazing job anyway, Sylvester McCoy. He's a great Doctor. But I think in this, Sylvester McCoy, he's really understood like where it is in the point of the Doctor's life where this is, because this would be quite early on during this incarnation's lifetime, and it would have been one of his first encounters with the Daleks, because the Doctor and Mel have encountered the Daleks before in a previous audio adventure. And going on to Mel, this is the first time that Mel has actually appeared in an audio for quite a number of years now, and Bonnie Langford is the voice of Mel, of course, because she played Mel back in the late 80s, and, you know, we all know about Mel. Mel isn't a popular companion. I think it's safe to say that Mel is one of the least popular companions that there's ever been in Doctor Who history. I don't think anyone may disagree with me. But it's no fault of Bonnie Langford's, you know. She did what she could. The late 80s, it was quite a bad time for Doctor Who, because some stories were quite bad. Although, in my opinion, it picked up towards the end before it got cancelled with season 25 and 26. That's just my personal opinion. But here, it just seems like Mel is a completely different character here. There's no screaming or anything like that. She's not annoying, she's actually really good, and she is very useful, and she's pivotal to the plot in this story. And therefore, she makes a good companion in this story. She's being completely reinvented in this story, and I'm so glad about that. Whether that's to do with Bonnie Langford being older and wiser now, or whether it's just the writers identifying the lackluster attempts to write her during the late 80s and amending all of that with these audios, I don't know. It could be both of those factors. But I think that in this audio, the Seventh Doctor and Mel work really well together, and likewise, Mel has good interactions with the other characters in the story as well. And there's a nice twist with Mel towards the end of this. Again, I won't spoil this because I don't want to spoil the whole story for you. I want you to listen to this for your own leisure, and you can all tell me what you think once you've all picked this up and listened to this absolutely goddamn amazing audio. I would highly recommend this audio to any Doctor Who fan, in my opinion. If you're new to Big Finish and you're looking to start collecting audios, this is highly recommended by me, in my opinion. And for that reason, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. I think this is more or less a perfect audio, a great way to start off collecting Big Finish audios if you want to collect the main range or anything like that. It's just fantastic. Great writing, great direction, and it really does feel like that era. It captures the era perfectly as well. And one of the best Seventh Doctor and Mel stories, and a great way to start off this new trilogy with the Seventh Doctor and Mel, as the following story, The Warehouse, continues that trilogy. Thank you very much for watching this review of We Are the Daleks by Jonathan Morris. I hope you are all having a very amazing day, and stay tuned next time as I shall be taking a look at the next story in this trilogy, The Warehouse.